Today we're going to be looking at the IK Multimedia Fame Studio Reverb unit. I like the way it sounds, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an old recording that was recorded here in my studio several years ago by a live band, and I'm going to take that live band and using the Fame Studio, I want to put that live band in that studio. Now, I don't have, of course, the acoustics of my studio does not match that of the Fame Studio, but we're going to emulate it and see what kind of sound we get. So the first thing I want to do is I want to kill everything that was on the original mix, all the plugins, all the settings. So I'm going to go here. I'm on the mixer in Cubase. This is Cubase Pro 12. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to select Reset Mixer Console Channels. Reset all, yes. And what that's going to do is now everything is going to go back to the master. There are no inserts. There are no EQ settings. There's nothing. And what I want to do first is I want to gain stage this puppy. So I'm going to get it going, pause the video, do the gain stage, and then come back to the next phase. So to hear what this sounds like, where is my transport? I'll tell you what, we will turn off the mixer using F3, and let's take this back. Let's see where we at. This is a top 40 band called the Next Level Band. They came here to record their demo so that they can get more gigs. So I'm gonna take one of their songs. Well, it's not their song. It's the song "Hit Me With Your Best Shot." And as you can see, we got all the levers or all the faders at Unity 0, and I'm gonna let it play through, and I'm gonna let it give me the values. And then I'm gonna go set my gain stage. Now I do have a video on how I do my gain stage, and everyone does it differently. And so you need to figure out what works best for you. And now, as you can see, right now, they're peaking like crazy because there's none of the tracks are gain stage, okay? So when we come back, we're going to see if gain staging will, at least from the jump, help us with our levels. All right, so the song is played through all the way. And I can begin going through the different values. Now, there are gain staging plugins out there that work very well. I just like doing it the old school way. I'm just old school. Sorry. All right, so this is the kick drum. It's peaking at -1. I like everything to be somewhere around -12. So I'm just going to use Cubase's pre-gain, and I'm going to reduce that by -11. And so the next time that plays, it will drop that value down to -12. And so I'm going to go through every track and do that. And then we're going to play it back and see where our levels are at. All right, so I've gone through and I gain staged everything. Let's take it back. Now, remember when we played it without the gain staging, I think it's still, it's in the red down here. So let's take that out. And basically, whatever the peak is, I just minused it. Whatever the peak is here, like this peak is a -1. So I reduced the pre-gain down -11. So everything should be hitting around -12. So let me reset all of the meters. Okay, we still get a little peaking in there. Maybe I forgot something, overlooked something. All right. So when I'm done with the gain staging, the next thing I want to do is look at the Fame Studio plugin, and we're going to look at that. Okay, yep, sure enough, I missed a couple of tracks. So now let's go back over here. It was about 4 or 5 tracks that I missed. And so as you see, when you properly game stage, you won't peak the master, even though the levels and everything is not changed. Now I'm not going to process any of these. We'll do the levels, but we're not going to process any of these. So we're going to do the Fame Reverb. Okay. So let's take a look at that pretty little puppy. By IK Multimedia. They did not pay me to do this. I really like this plugin, and I'm just want to do my little take on it. This is what the plugin looks like. Let's see if we can get it bigger onto the screen. Okay, so I just loaded that on the vocal bus for the vocals, and we're gonna do it. We'll do it as an insert. Now, the way this thing works is, as you can see, you can move around the room, which is pretty cool. This is Studio A. They have Studio A Live, Studio B Live. And what I'm going to do with this band is I'm going to put them in these live rooms. And I'm going to try to use the settings, because according to this, the way this is modeled, the band would be in one place, the drums would be in one place, the vocals would be in one place. And so since I put this on the vocal, I want to make sure I select the vocals. So let's see the send options. Okay, they have both broad and focused if you use sends. And for inserts, they have the same thing. So we're going to start off, I'm going to do live room A, right? So I'm going to select that. And for the vocal tracks, I'm going to select the one that says where the vocals would be. Okay, so we made it a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we can really see these settings. So you see on this, we have a vocal setting. So by doing this, this is saying that whatever's coming through here is going to be where the vocals would be in this studio. Okay. And I think I'm going to put them on. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use them as sends instead of as an insert. Let's do that. So here I'm going to call this the vocal verb. Yeah. And we'll put, the fame on that. Oops, I didn't did it. Oh, there it is. We're going to select Studio A Live. I'm going to do the preset. We're going to do it as a send. Okay. And we're going to set this for vocals because that's the vocal verb. All right. And I'm going to go through and just set up one for the drums, one for the keyboards, and all of that. And then be right back. All right. So all I have, I'm going to run each instrument over into a submix. And then each submix is going to go to a position, because I have effects channels for every position. So the lead vocal will go to the vocal position. The background vocals will go to the vocal position. Drum mix, bass, guitars, and keys. Or we may send them individually. So, all right. So here we go. We're going to, as you can see, I've got all my drums together, one color. And they're going to the drum mix up here at the top. The bass, oh, forgot the bass. Bass needs to go to the bass mix. And everybody's going to their respective buses. All right, so let's get rid of these input channels. I don't need those. I don't need to see the input channels, okay? And let's pull everything down in volume. Kind of work our way up. So I selected the first track, hold down the shift, go to the last track, and I just want to do a quick link right here. Just turn all of them down at one time, and then I can unquick link them. And let's go. So we'll start with the kick. Again, these will not have any type of processing on them. They're just going to be raw. Let's get some volume on that. So there's no gating or anything. And it needs to. Our overheads and our percussion. They had a percussion lady doing percussion. So let me go ahead and link these. I'm going to highlight both of those. And the volume's down. I want to link them so they're together. Link. Let's select the track. We'll just leave all that selected for now. Do the same thing for the percussion. Link it. Now they're all going over to the drum bus. So let's go over to the drum bus. And let's put on the drum bus right here. Let's put on the Fame. And as you can see, it sounds like the drum is in a room, right? Okay. And that's what this plugin does. It puts the person in the room in that location. So it's selected on drums, and I don't remember in where the drums are. But they're in this room. There's an organ in there. There's an electric piano. There's an acoustic piano. And the drums may be in the middle. I can't remember. They're somewhere in the studio. Okay, so that's what the drums sound like with a little bit on it. Let's go to the next instrument. That's the drums and the percussion. The next instrument is the bass. Beginning. Alright, so the bass is coming along over here. We got the bass going to the bass position. Let's turn it on. Okay. And it'd probably be better if let's get everybody on the same level. Get everybody on the same level. Let's do this -4. To kind of like get the room to the same. No, that's not gonna work. It might. Let's leave it like that though. Go to the lead vocal and do everybody the same way. We're gonna give them -4 value to start with. Now I could select all these and do it with one fell swoop using the link, the quick link. So it's our bass. We got how many guitars? 2 or 3 guitars. Piano. Now he was on the keyboard piano, not an acoustic. Our lead vocal. And our background. Let's link those together. Let's go ahead and spread them. And also, we have not turned them on over here. Just turn them on. Everybody's in the room. Okay. You see that the whole thing is starting to come alive now. My percussions, just a little spread on them. Spread on the drum. It actually sounds pretty good. Like I say, there's no processing on none of the instruments. It's just straight. You know, there are no inserts. There's no EQ settings. Nothing on the strip has been changed other than the input gain. So if I go over here and turn all these off, select all of these. Wow. Wow. Do that again. So that's just dry, okay? And I think my room is kind of quiet, the room that I have them in. But wow, watch when I add them all to the Fame Studio. Wow. And I didn't touch any of the settings. I just left the settings as they are. You know, I use Studio A Live Room Broad with everyone's settings. And it really, now you can do this with any reverb, but the difference is this reverb is capturing the acoustic reverb of that popular studio. And that studio has recorded a number of great, awesome people. So let's bring this up so we can see. This is the Fame reverb. And let's see. And they have a wonderful video. You need to go check out the video to see all of the people that recorded there. It's in Alabama, and it just had a unique sound. Wow. And then there's a layout of the booth. So we did Studio A, and we did the live room. So we put all the band members down here in the live room, and they have vocal booths, but we put everyone in the live room instead of the booth. Okay, yeah. See, the drums sat on that piece of wood. Let's go look at that real quick. The drum sits on this wood right here, in different places on this wood thing on the bottom right there. That's pretty cool. And of course, the other instruments. Let me see. Do they have a picture where the vocals stood? So if you're looking for a reverb unit, that's a little bit different than well, it's a reverb unit. It's taking the reverb of the room, basically, because that room had a unique sound and some very iconic people. I'm trying to get to where those people, the listing. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I was there. So this is the sound of the 60s, the mid 60s. Wow. Uh, Backed by the now famous Swampers and Fame Gan, house bands, along with Fame's legendary lead guitarist Dwayne Allman, Eddie Hinton, Reggie Young, and Travis Womack. I hope I'm saying all this right. Fame delivered hits for Etta James. I believe that's who that is. Clarence Carter, Wilson Pickett, Lou Rawls, Little Richard, and Aretha Franklin, cementing the Muscle Shoals sound and Fame's reputation for sonic excellence. So when you pick up this plugin, that's what you're doing. You're capturing the room ambience of that studio. And so that's what you're getting. So that's what we're hearing when we play this. We're hearing that room. And of course, you can change the settings, a little more reverb, a little less. I kind of put everybody the same just to kind of like make it seem like they're all in the same room, hitting the same thing. It's not really leveled out. There's no effects or anything. But look what it sounds like dry. That's amazing. Wow. All right, let me quickly, before I go, let's put everyone in the other studio. So we did the Broad. Let's put everybody in the Broad Live Room B. Okay, now I see here that when we did that, the settings change. So the vocals, wow, there must have been like a vocal booth in this case. There's just the control board, there's the bass amps, guitar amps, acoustic piano. I don't know what that is. That looks almost like a tape machine, but that wouldn't be over there, I don't think. Could have been though. Okay, it looks like maybe the vocals was back here in this booth. That looks like a booth, or maybe they were in this booth. Yeah. So with the vocals, I'm going to have to choose a booth. There we go. Studio B booths. There we go. Vocals. Wow, interesting. So I'm going to do the same thing for the background vocals. I'm going to have to put them, we're doing Studio B. Now Studio A had booths too, but I put the vocals in the live room. Okay. So I'm going to put the vocals in the booth because the live room to B looks like the vocalist could have been in the room. Let's see. Maybe in the middle. I would have to have video or pictures of where these people stood. And maybe the drums were in a booth. I wonder what. I would have to find out what was in that booth because maybe the drums were actually in the booth. Interesting. Very interesting. So let's put the vocals in the booth. I got it set on vocals. So apparently that's where they were. Let's go to our drums. Live Studio B. Yeah. So the drums were out in the floor based on what options came up. See, the drums came up here. Actually, this is for bass position. So, yep, the bass, of course, was out there too. So this is the bass guitar, piano position. Go back to drum position. I don't think I did that one. So I'm going to set these positions and come back. We're going to see what it sounds like. All right, so I got everything set in the Live Studio B. Let's see what that one looks like on the diagram. So the shape of the room was a lot different. We got the vocals and booths, and everyone else is out here in the live room based on what options come up on the plugin. So let's highlight all of our effects in, turn on the quick links, turn it off. Let's start with the dry sound. All right, let's put them in Studio B. Wow, they actually sound like they're in a booth with. That is crazy. They actually sound like they're in a freaking booth. Where my vocals at? Let's go down here.
You're the real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me. That's okay, let's see how you do it. Put up your dukes and let's get down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Wow, that's cool. So I can imagine what that would sound like with, everybody being processed and compressed, EQ. That would sound so freaking amazing. Wow. So I just wanted to play around with it to see, in its raw form, how much of a change it makes. And it makes a big change, especially when you assign the instruments to the parameters based on, the position in the room. So this is an awesome and amazing plugin. Again, I'm not being endorsed to say anything about this, but wow, cool. I like it. I'll probably be using it a lot, especially for a vintage live band sound, or even just a vintage studio sound. I think this thing has some wonderful chambers and things of that nature. Let's see. Let's get my lead vocal going.
You're the real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me.
Put a plate on her.
That's okay, let's see how you do it. Put up your dukes and let's get down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best
great.
shot? Hit me with your best shot.
And I'm not even messing with like pre-delay.
You come on with it, come on, you don't fight fair. But that's okay, see if I can. Knock me down, it's all in vain. I'll get right back on my feet again. Hit me with your best shot.
Wow.
Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
The pre-delay slap back.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Okay. And we also have high pass filter, low pass filters. This thing has a lot of wonderful parameters. There are a lot of videos on there. I don't know if I'll do a video on every parameter. I just wanted to hear what it would sound like if I took a band that I recorded years ago, and put them in like the rooms.
Well, you're the real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me.
And it sounds like they're in the booth right there.
In my lipstick case. You
Good
better
gracious.
make sure you put me in my place.
That's broad.
Hit me with your best shot.
Vocals.
Come on.
Sounds like it's a little bit tighter.
Shot. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
Man, that sounds like they in the vocal booth.
Best shot. Fire away.
With a little verb on it. So tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Till the next time, this is producer Roderick out of Winston Salem, North Carolina. I'll talk to you guys later, all right?